Although it had been 5 years since Teresa told Jeremy to leave town and never come back, he still had to make sure he was able to survive. He needed to track down Ivy, and because she had worked a party here, they had her address. The money was a nice bonus too.
Falugi.
But he was tired of stealing money and hiding away. He wanted to return to his family and explain his side of things. He made it to a house and found that no one was home. A neighbour had told Jeremy that if he was looking for the lady that lived here, he should check the park. He was able to track Ivy down at the park and chewed her out about how she snaked her way into his life and set him up. Ivy asked how he was able to track her down, and he told her that's not the point. Ivy told him that she would help him get his revenge if he would calm down. She had something important to tell him anyway. They sat down on a bench while Ivy came clean about them creating a child during their time they were together. She wanted to tell him the night that she came to his penthouse, but he had her thrown out. Jeremy didn't believe her, but she told him that she had no reason to lie. She then suggested that he should stay at her house, that way they can strategize. Jeremy didn't want to, but ultimately agreed. The next evening, Jeremy made his way to Ivy's house and took a peek through the window. He sees the child that Ivy was talking about and asks her one last time to tell him the truth about her, and she doesn't change her answer. Kiara is his child. Dinner time was awkward as Jeremy didn't know what to say to Kiara. Luckily, Ivy told her that he was just a friend. Jeremy had eventually talked to her and tried to make small talk about school. They even watched a scary movie together. He didn't need a test to know Kiara was his. He knew it in his heart. Jeremy just knew that Kiara didn't deserve a father like him. The next morning, Kiara was watching TV before she went to school and told Jeremy that her mum must really like him because she doesn't bring any guys home. Jeremy was happy to know that. During breakfast, Jeremy had pressured Ivy into telling him where Isaiah and Tyson were at. He had to take care of them, once and for all. Ivy told him that he could be a little nicer, but ultimately gave him the information. Jeremy finds where Isaiah is living and sees that Tyson is with him. Luckily, he doesn't have to track him down. He follows them to a restaurant in the area. Jeremy found Isaiah sitting alone and told him that he would pay for ruining his life. Isaiah told him that he did rather a good job of that on his own, and Clay will never forgive him. Isaiah had more to say, but Jeremy didn't want to hear it. Corner of his eye, he saw Tyson walking by the river. Tyson saw Jeremy with all that blood on him and told him if anything happened to him, Isaiah has instructions to release his secret to the police. Jeremy said that he was supposed to be his friend and that he betrayed him. Tyson tried to explain that Jeremy was tired of the excuses and the lies. Jeremy didn't care who saw him, but he also couldn't have any witnesses. The next day, Jeremy went back to Ivy's house and she asked him if he really did it. He said yes, and that he needs her help with one other issue. He wants to reach out to Clay without Teresa knowing. Ivy reluctantly said yes.
Oh, Rainick.
They made their way to San Myshuno and discussed their plan on what to do if Clay knows or doesn't know. While going over the plan again, Jeremy saw Teresa leave out of the corner of his eye and told Ivy to follow her. Jeremy snuck upstairs and found Clay talking with a child. Clay embraces Jeremy and asks where he has been, but he doesn't care because he's here now and he doesn't want his brother to leave. He also introduces him to his son Trey, and the little boy hugs Jeremy right away. Brian and Halle heard Jeremy downstairs and hug him as well. They sit down to eat while Jeremy tells them how he felt bad about what he did to the business and needed to get away. It seemed they didn't know his secret. Meanwhile, Ivy had followed Teresa to the park where she had met for someone for drinks. She had texted Jeremy that Teresa had met up with a man and it was clear that they were having an affair. Jeremy asked for proof and Ivy had no problem showing him.
Ooh, a Wavinia.
Ooh, Vadish. Let him grab it.
The next day at the hotel room, Jeremy tells Ivy about his plan to return home and get rid of Teresa. Clay is having an anniversary party tonight, so it'd be the perfect time to expose her. Ivy asked, what if she has the proof of whatever he did? Jeremy told her that the proof died when he murdered Tyson and Isaiah. Plus, she would have shown it by now, so she doesn't have it. Before going inside, Ivy wanted to let Jeremy know that once this is over, she wants him to come home to her and Kiara so they can be a family. He agreed. Jeremy felt good to be back with his family, although Teresa was shocked to see him. She pulled him to the side to ask why he was here. He said that he is back and won't be going anywhere, and she will pay for everything that she has done. While Clay and Jeremy were talking, Teresa's lover had walked in. She tried to get him to leave, but instead brought him upstairs for privacy. Teresa's lover, Gavin, had convinced her to take a little swim with him since no one was up there. At that point, Clay and Jeremy had walked upstairs. Teresa had followed Clay downstairs to explain, but he told her to leave the house.
Pumbaa, Wanoob.
The next day, Clay met Jeremy and told him that he didn't understand. Everything was fine with them, and Jeremy said that perhaps some time apart will help them, and that he should just focus on Trey. Jeremy went on to tell Clay that perhaps the both of them should focus on their children. He went on to tell him about Kiara. At the same time, Teresa had tracked down Ivy outside of their hotel. She wants to know why Jeremy's back. Doesn't he know that she'll tell everyone his secret? Ivy said that if she knew it, she would have told everyone already. Teresa said she couldn't, and if Clay found out that if she knew, she would lose him. Ivy pointed out she already has. Ivy was right, and Teresa needed someone else to deliver the news to Clay. She knew of a detective that could dig up proof that was needed. A week later, the detective called her to meet. They met, and the detective Hudson asked if she was sure she wanted to reveal this to her husband. It could destroy him and the family. Teresa said she didn't care, and for him to reveal it tonight. She had to try and get her husband back. She had texted Clay to meet her by the docks because she had something to show him. Teresa and Hudson arrived at the dock. Hudson had gone into the bathroom while Teresa waited for Clay. But Clay didn't show up. Jeremy did. He told her that it was him who responded to her. Clay didn't know about the meeting. Teresa told him that she'll make sure Clay knew what really happened to his twin and what Jeremy did to him. Jeremy told her to shut up, and she said no. Everyone deserved to know how he killed Clay's twin, and that is when Jeremy tracked Clay down. The scar on his face was from the struggle. Teresa dared him to deny it. Jeremy couldn't and he wouldn't. He helped the other twin find out who his real parents were, and Jeremy found a way out of his old life. Teresa told him he will tell Clay the truth. Jeremy had another idea. Hudson had heard Teresa's scream and shot Jeremy. He told the rest of his family what happened and about Clay's real brother. And even though Clay knew the truth, he still missed the brother he had.